Make a quick video today just to tell you the story of my troubleshooting process on my 2005 Toyota Highlander. This is the 4-cylinder version. I was getting the check engine light coming on with the VSC, or the vehicle stability control light, coming on, and the track off, or the traction control system off in the car. And this is a really peculiar problem. As I began to research this, very strangely, those indications, when they all come on together, could actually mean a whole bunch of different things. And it's really interesting that it's even tied into things like the gas cap being faulty and O2 sensors and all sorts of different things on the car that really surprised me that they actually feed into that, and it could be the culprit. So this is a very hard one to troubleshoot because it's very broad, okay? You could spend a lot of time trying to look at each and every one of those things. Some of them are very simple, like checking the gas cap, make sure it's sealing, and a few other things you might be able to figure out. But that is time consuming, and it's not the best way to go about this. So the best thing you could do for yourself with a lot of these things that go on in your car is use one of these OBD2 units, like something like this, okay? So this little guy just happens to be like a Bluetooth module, and it plugs into the port down here on the bottom side of the car. I'm sure you've seen something like this, but this one just communicates via Bluetooth to an app in your phone. These are pretty cheap. You can get them on Amazon, and you just plug it in and you Bluetooth in, and it'll just show you the codes that the car is generating, these specific error codes. So by the way, the one that mine was generating when I did this was a P0117 and a P0118. And before I talk about those, if you don't want to go buy one of those little deals on Amazon, most auto parts store, they'll do this for free. They'll bring one of these out to your car, and they'll just run the diagnostic scan, and they'll just pull the codes out of the car's computer and be able to tell you like at least what the codes are or what's going on. So anyways, with this error, when it was spitting out those the P0117 and the P0118, when you looked at them, it had to do with the coolant temp sensor, which is down here on this car, okay? Once again, 2005, this is the 4-cylinder model. The big hose that comes out of the radiator here, it feeds down here, thermostat is down in here, and on the bottom side here, it's kind of hard to see. Do my best job to point to it, but it's that little guy down there with the nut on it. And this is the actual temp sensor, the coolant temp engine coolant temperature sensor right in there. So when you look online, a lot of people will start to just say things like, oh, just change the temp sensor out and see if that changes your problem. Because you would think that, okay, it's related to that code, it's got to do something with that sort of system on the car, which is true. But a lot of times it's something really simple, and this is the one that I want to point out to you guys. When you dig deep on this one, and I know that's kind of hard to do, for a lot of us, but when you get down to the Toyota maintenance manual and the actual things they recommend when they reference these codes of a problem with this sort of system, is they kind of give you this hierarchy of like, well, it could be this, this, or this, and they actually arrange it in an interesting manner that basically tells you like, hey, this is the first likely thing to go, this is the second likely thing to go, this is the third one, etc., etc. So you kind of have to work your way through that. But anyways, the very first thing it talks about is just the suspect of faulty wiring down in here, and it's nothing more than just that. So I went through all this troubleshooting I just described, like getting the codes out, doing the research, all this kind of stuff, taking the engine cover, plastic cover off here. And what I want to show you is what I've ascertained to be the problem here. It's kind of hard to see. I'm going to try to get my camera down in there so you can see this. But the little green wire right here, guys, hopefully you can see that, but it's a little bit frayed on the just that green section of the wire there. It's kind of hard to focus, but hopefully you can see what I'm talking about there. But anyways, that little green wire just frayed just that much is enough to get this system in here to short circuit and to give a faulty reading, and is enough for a system like this in this car to kick out those error codes. So this is what I'm going to try to fix first. All I'm going to do is put a little bit of electrical tape down there. I'm going to unplug the Canon plug, and there's no possible way I'm going to be able to do this holding the camera and talking and using my hands, all this kind of stuff. But I'm going to do that. I'll turn the camera back on to show you what I did, and then we'll start the car together and see if that error code still generates. It's probably just nothing more than this wire shorting out in here. Okay, so message of the story is check these wires. A lot of times it's something really simple like that. Okay. All right, guys, here's another better look at this damaged wire area. I have no idea how this happened, but that right there, that is most likely the culprit. The little exposed wire there, it's allowing it to short out. Really interesting little failure, but anyways, let's patch this up and see if it works. All right, guys, here's my little fix that I tried. This doesn't look that great, but it should do the job. Just used a little bit of electrical tape. I shrouded the damaged area, and I put the zip tie around it just to keep tension on the tape. So over time, you know, the engine will heat up, and the tape would probably wear itself away, but that should keep it in place and at least just make it so that those wires don't short out. So I'm going to plug this back in out here. Oops. Okay, that's all back in, and we'll go ahead and fire up the car and see if that message comes back. All right, guys, here we are back in the car here. So moment of truth, let's see if these guys are on again. And those were the ones that I had populated before, but anyways, so far so good, guys. Yeah, the computer's not detecting that fault anymore. I'm pretty sure this is back to normal. If that does come back though, we already know where to start, guys. It's got to be that wiring. So you've just got to buy that wiring stretch if this thing goes out again, or if that little tape fix fails us at any point. That's where I'm starting, right? Because we know everything else is working with the car. The coolant and the temps are all, you know, operating normally. I verified that before I started shooting here. But anyways, biggest message of the video, guys, check those wires. It could be something just as simple as that, okay? A little bit of tape and a little bit of time, and it's good. All right, guys, hope that helps you out.